yesterday it was an announcement made. And the announcement that was made yesterday is that Amazon has now came up with their own streaming service.
Amazon has now come up with their own streaming service?
Absolutely. And they say that they are targeting Tidal as their competition to knock them off the map.
Yeah, but now for those of us who been streaming for a while, like yourself, we're going to think that Amazon already had a streaming platform through Amazon Music. So what's the difference in what they have that we've been using versus what you're proposing they're saying they're creating now and that they're trying to go against Tidal? Let's go ahead and break it down. We can get this podcast started in 3, 2, 1. We're live now.
You and I both know that this music industry is forever changing. Every day is something new happening. What was new yesterday is old today.
Right.
You know, especially with this internet, because, you know, this is what I'm starting to realize. With this internet, it's making the majors have to be able to pivot like an independent. You know what I mean? Because so much is happening with this internet. This internet now is starting to surpass linear television. You know what I mean? So with that being said, money is starting to flow to this internet. And as long as the money is coming constantly to the internet, you're going to have business deals being made over your head sometimes that people will not understand until it blossoms and they be like, oh, okay, that's the reason why they did this and they did that. But you and I being forward thinkers and knowing how to think ahead of the curve and around the corner, I came to the realization of why Jay-Z paired himself with the NFL.
Okay.
And before I elaborate into this, I need all y'all that's paying attention to this. Y'all make sure y'all follow me also, Casino Roulette, right here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, because you won't get this information nowhere else except with me and my brother SG1.
That's a
so
fact.
Getting back into my spiel, what I found out was yesterday it was an announcement made. And the announcement that was made yesterday is that Amazon has now came up with their own streaming service.
Amazon has now come up with their own streaming service?
Absolutely. And they say that they are targeting Tidal as their competition to knock them off the map.
Yeah, but now for those of us who been streaming for a while, like yourself, we're going to think that Amazon already had a streaming platform through Amazon Music. So what's the difference in what they have that we've been using versus what you're proposing they're saying they're creating now and that they're trying to go against Tidal?
Well, now they've come with a 4-tier. You know, like they are no longer just doing, you know, like the Amazon Music. Yeah, they already had that. But what they are saying now is that they are the baby Spotify now. They're saying that now they have over 50 million different songs in their catalog. They have XYZ when it comes to licensing. And they said now, hey, instead of us just using this little service that we had, now we're opening up the floodgate. So now we got our eyes on Tidal's position because we have enough premium users. We have enough subscribers when it comes to our Amazon Prime situation, as well as all these other entities that we already offer when it comes to our services. So now, instead of just having them all branched out right here, we're bringing them all up under one umbrella. And Tidal, we're coming for your position because we know if we can knock you off, we can knock off the rest of them. So what I figured was by them doing what they're doing by becoming a top tier streaming service now, what they see is that Tidal is offering their services for $20. So what they are doing, they're offering their services now for $11, $13. They are cutting the price margin down so far to where Tidal can't compete because they are getting their resources from other places. So they don't need the streaming money right now. All they need to do right now is knock out the competition because if they can knock out the competition, then they can up the price back to the $20 and the $25 price markers that Tidal have and have been, you know, tinkering at, saying that they're going to raise their price along with everybody else.
But now here's the question becomes, even if they do that, now first and foremost, let's talk about Amazon being a behemoth of a company, you know what I mean? Because when it comes to resources and services, we know that there is no one that can honestly top Amazon when it comes to their cloud-based service. Matter of fact, they're offering free cloud-based servers and their servers to you, which is unheard of. And we also know that they've been coming at Google as well, as far as when it comes to services, you know. So hands down, we get that Amazon is a beast, but I can understand from the standpoint of offering the streaming the streaming platform or portion of their account, because they have the servers to back it up. When it comes to that, Tidal's not going to beat them. You know what I mean? You're not going to beat them when it comes to that, because more than likely Tidal is probably using AWS to host their music files on their server, because, you know, Amazon is one of those companies that everyone is going to host their files. And it would make sense, because if Amazon has that insight, now I'm just saying this as I'm not saying this is in stone, but if Tidal is using Amazon for their servers or their file hosting, it will make sense, because then Amazon would have an insight to what Tidal is streaming. They would know their streaming numbers, X, Y, Z. However, even if Amazon comes at Tidal, what are they going to be doing when it comes to the revenue source? Because so have they addressed, is what I'm saying to you, have they addressed the streaming royalty rates for musicians?
Well, they haven't addressed the royalty rates for musicians as of from what I read. What they are addressing is the fact of the experience when it comes to what they're trying to do right now is entice people to come over to their services right now. So they're not talking about the streaming rate when it comes to the payouts right now. Only thing they're trying to do now is entice listeners. They want people to come from Tidal services, even Spotify services and other services onto their platform. Because what they're enticing the listeners with is saying that we are not just using MP3 format. We are going with high definition listening experience.
Right.
What we are giving y'all are wave. We, instead of using the MP3, we'll use a wave. So that way the sound is more crisp. That way it's more clearer. And then they're also going to have interactive listening, which means that once it pops up on your phone, you'll be able to engage with the album cover. You'll be able to go into an in-depth experience when it comes to listening. Mm-hmm. What I also found out is that Spotify is also doing this when it comes to, like, they're going to be doing pop-up shops now, to where you're going to be able to engage with whatever listener, whatever artist that they have in this experience. You're going to be able to go into their mind, so to speak. It's going to be a room to where it's going to be their artwork, their voice, everything that they came up with when it came to conceptualizing that record. So they're going to bring you into that experience itself, but they're bringing that in pop-up shops. What Google is doing is saying that, hey, we're bringing you this experience, but we're bringing it to you via the internet, via your phone. And if you look also to these new phones that's coming out, they say that this experience would be more so felt with the new iPhone users as well as the new Android 10 users. Because the new phone, which is what I have, the 10, it has high def when it comes to your listening. You know, when you plug in your headphones, or that's when they say the main experience will come. When you have your headphones plugged in or a Bluetooth speaker. So you'll be able to get that experience more when you have those type of listening tools. Got you.
And so basically what they're saying is we're going to give you better service for less money. In a nutshell, is what you're saying. So they're real. So here's the question: will be why Tidal of all companies versus a Spotify? You know what I mean? Like why? Go ahead.
Well, I say for the fact of you go for the smallest fish in the pond first before you knock out the big fish. You know, they know that When it comes to capital, Tidal don't have as much as Spotify. So, which is why I say Jay-Z has now aligned himself with the NFL, because he knew this ball was coming. They had already been kicking the can around when it comes to discussions about this streaming thing. So he knew what was on the horizon. And what I figured was, okay, he aligned himself with the NFL. Why? Because it's millions of people that love the NFL. You know, whether it comes to the players, whether it comes to the rich heritage that it has in American culture, people love the NFL. So in order for his streaming service to thrive, why not get embedded with this big conglomerate that I know uses music as a tool to attract more, you know, fans. So if I bring my music vehicle along with this business and we pair it together, it's a match made in heaven. Now I got the capital, now I got the people, now I got the eyes on what I'm doing now with my streaming service.
So what you're proposing is then, you know what I mean? Because I got Jay-Z, smart dude, 100%, billionaire thought. You got to give it to him because of what he's doing. Now, several things with that. I can see the benefit behind. Now, first and foremost, I think the rumor is that he's been trying to, and he's always been affiliated with sports as far as management, right? So that aside, he has a sports management company. I do know that, if I'm not mistaken, along with, I think, Lil Wayne as well. However, to make your streaming subscriptions boom, or to embed the streaming service with the NFL, because see, that sounds like a long grab, brother. You know what I mean? Because
well, you got to think about it. The reason why I say that is because you got to think about it. Now, when the NFL puts out marketing stuff, you're going to see Tidal on it. You're going to see things that Jay-Z is associated with now become associated with the NFL. So it may not be instantaneous, but over a period of time, his businesses got to cross with the NFL for the fact of he is now in a position to do so.
So you think he's going to cross-brand? You think he's going to be cross-brand?
Right, there you go, cross-brand. Same thing that United Masters done with the NBA. You understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
Being able to put yourself in a position like that, now that gives you a little bit more weight to throw around. You understand what I'm saying? Because now I'm not just thinking from the perspective of an artist. I'm thinking from the perspective of you and I being businessmen.
Right.
You know what I mean? In order for my, like today, I went and acquired another contract for my courier service. And the reason why I've done that is because I'm not hurting with the contracts I have, but I want to build up my company. And I see that, okay, this is a way for me to get in bed with another company. So if I get in bed with this company, eventually I can run my ideas through this company now. And I can bring my other vehicles through here. You see what I'm saying? So now I'm just forward thinking, saying that, okay, this is what he knew was on the horizon. My competition there is about to be Amazon. Like you said, which is one of the biggest when it comes to being an entity online. Oh, yeah. He knows this. So in order for him to be able to compete with the competition, he got to go to somebody else that's got the eyes on them as well. That's going to now put, instead of 2 eyes, it's going to be now 4 pair of eyes on my business. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that this is not just the main reason, but one of the reasons. You know? So that's all I'm saying.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Because on geekwire.com, you can read the article, guys. For those of you who are listening on Anchor or iTunes or however you're listening, you can go to geekwire.com's 2019 Amazon takes Tidal new high-def music streaming service. And so what it reads is Amazon takes on Tidal with new high-definition music streaming service. Amazon expanded its streaming music subscription service on Tuesday, rolling out a new high-definition option that competes with similar offerings from Tidal and others. Amazon Music HD includes more than 50 million songs with lossless audio, which Amazon describes as CD quality with a bit depth of 16 bits and a sample rate of 44.1 kilohertz. Now, so it goes along with what you're saying as far as the HD quality. However, it goes on to say further that the HD service costs $12.99 per month for Amazon Prime members and $14.99 for everyone else. So what they're basically doing is they're adding this as an extended service, a service add-on to Prime members. And what they're really pushing is the high definition quality. But the key behind this whole thing, is they particularly, and this particular reporter highlighted Tidal, and so it seems like there's a direct attack on Tidal. And I really wonder why that is, because we both know that Tidal, for everyone knows that Tidal was really under the red, that there's accusations of bad numbers that was given by the previous owners of Tidal, that Jay-Z continued that trend by giving bad numbers and was inflating numbers and things of that nature. But why Tidal? Because Tidal is not, they're not number one. Spotify is number one streaming service right now. And I heard how they push the others at the end of it, but specifically Tidal. So why you think they're going at Tidal?
They going at Tidal for the simple fact of, if I could get you, it's pretty much you pick on the smallest kid in the playground. And right now, Jay-Z is the smallest child on the playground, so they picking on him. You know what I mean?
Listen, the funniest thing ever to hear is you talking about picking at the smallest child on the playground who's a billionaire. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, But from the sense of the company and its standing as a whole, yes, I get it. You get what I'm saying? I completely get it. But let's do more. Let's finish reading this this particular article and go on. So it says, let me start where I last left off. For current Amazon Music subscribers, it's an extra $5 per month. Songs can be streamed or downloaded using the Amazon Music app. So it goes back to what I was saying, that I didn't understand the difference between the service offering that they're having as a streaming platform versus what they offer through Amazon Music. But it also says, in a press release, Amazon said the service will reveal audio nuances that were once flattened in files. Interesting. As we usher in a new listening experience for our customers and the industry, we're combining the convenience of streaming with all of the emotional power, clarity, and nuances of the original recordings, Amazon Music VP Steve Boom said in a statement. So this sounds almost like, the way they're promoting this. Now tell me if I'm wrong, and I would be definitely interested in hearing what you guys have to say in the comment section or your comments or replies on this podcast. This sounds like Amazon is proposing to do what Dre did with the headphone industry. They're saying that we want to give you high fidelity audio, basically equivalent to what a 4K video would be right now, even though we all know we can't see in 4K. However, this high definition audio will give you the full scope of what you're listening to. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Because what they're saying is, and you and I know this, when you do an MP3, it compresses the sound, and right. By compressing the sound, you're losing clarity. You're losing like certain beans and things that might be in the mix that you can't get with that dirty compression. So, matter of fact, it's services like Lander. When you master a song through Lander, it gives you 3 different options. Mm-hmm. And 4 different options, excuse me. The 3 different options that they give you are 3 MP3 options. But the 4th option that they give you is to have it in a WAV file, which would be a higher and a better, crisper, cleaner sound. Mm-hmm. So this is what Amazon is saying all of our songs is going to sound like. You're going to get everything that you're supposed to hear when they mix and master this song, everything that they wanted you to experience through this song, you're going to hear that. So they are offering that. And it's funny that you said something. You said that we got 4K and things of that nature, even though we don't see 4K videos. They're also saying we're offering this service, and some of y'all might not receive this high quality that we're saying that we're offering, but we just letting y'all know that it's there. Kind of like the 4K video situation, like you just said. We doing 4K, and you might not be able to see it, but we letting you know that it's there.
So then what this really sounds like, and I want to read more of the article because they said something very fascinating in it. What they're basically saying is where other streaming platforms have you left out, and obviously Tidal picked up, which is what I want to read next. We're going to give you that, because one of the things that, like you just said, is MP3 is compressed. And so when it's compressed, of course, the quality goes down and things of nature, which is why when you master music, they prefer that you have it, you have your shelf. It has to be shelved, of course. It has to have that shelf between it so it can be mastered, but it has to be within a WAV format, because WAV is a higher quality form of music listening. And again, when you convert it into MP3, it's more compressed, which means you're losing quality. So this goes back to my original statement, which is they're using their technology and their access to their endless servers that they have to outdo the competition. Because when you start dealing with WAV files, you're talking about a much larger file in comparison to an MP3, which could be literally anywhere from a megabyte to 4 or 5 megs to listen to. But when you're looking at a WAV file, you can have hundreds of megs, if not a gig, depending on how it's mixed, or how you rendered it. So they're utilizing their technology and the fact that they have all of these servers, cloud servers specifically, to be able to outdo the competition.
Yep.
Wow.
And that's the thing about it, being able to utilize all our resources just to run you in the ground.
So it would stand that what they're saying now is, because this is a subtle note to artists that are paying attention, to musicians that are paying attention. What they're basically saying in a nutshell is, if you want to give your clients, your fans, better music, stop uploading the Tidal, start uploading to us. We're going to provide better music and at an affordable price. So now what this does, because we're always thinking of the flip side of this, what this does now is it pushes artists to say, hey, go to Amazon Music for my music so that you can hear it in high definition and the way we wanted you to hear it. And it's affordable. Now, I can see where this can be flipped from one aspect as well, because Amazon offers an influencer program. See, this, I'm always thinking, and through that influencer income, when you set up a customer on Prime, or if they buy something through Amazon or it purchase, music, you get a bounty for this. So the benefits behind what Amazon is saying is, and if you got to really be paying attention to what they're doing. We're going to give you better music service. We're going to give your fans better music service, a better place for you to host your music, cheaper rates for them, and you can make money off this as well.
And check this out. Let's go a little bit further with that. When I listening to you, sometimes my wheels get to turning. Mm-hmm. So I just thought about something too. What they haven't done, but what I know that they will do is that, we got our Made Man docuseries on Amazon Prime, right?
Fact.
Now they're opening up the streaming services for the music. I think, now don't hold me to this, but I believe what they're going to do is going to allow artists to be able to, what we do and put it together. Like, you got your music here, you got your movies here, you got everything here. Same way Spotify has a Spotify for Artists account, where you can go into your account and you can set up your profile avatar. You can put your show dates. You can put your merch there. You can do everything on the Spotify for Artists. Right. Amazon is going to do the same thing. And artists like that got there you go, brother, that got their movies and things like that, you're going to be able to put it right there on your profile. Yeah. Everything that you're selling on their server, you're going to be able to package it.
It's going to be a one-stop shop, all in. So that I could see this. Now, again, guys, this is a prediction, what we're doing right now. This it would make sense that when you look at entertainment as a whole, that you want to make it as clean, straightforward, accessible, easy accessible as possible to your clients. You want to do that because you definitely want to streamline their ability to get to what they want when they want to get there. That makes sense to me. So Movies, because and by the way, guys, let me plug it for you listening to the podcast and watching this podcast. Yes, check out Made Men on Amazon. We have a docu-series on Amazon, and we're coming out with Made Men 2. We're working on all these things, guys, so don't worry about it. It's coming out. Trust me. So if you are a talented musician or female musician, we're going to be looking at you and documenting your life. Now, I digress. That's a shameless plug, too. But
it's a great plug.
So, one-stop shop. We're coming at Tidal. We're coming at Spotify subtly. We're doing all this. But because Tidal hosts or Tidal boasts high-definition music, we specifically want to mention Tidal. And I want to read this end part before we really look at this. Let me read this real quick for you so you can see this, what I'm talking about. It says, Amazon even included a quote from rock legend Neil Young in its release, quoting, "Earth will be changed forever when Amazon introduces high-quality streaming to the masses." Young said in a statement, "This will be the biggest thing that happened in music since the introduction of digital audio 40 years ago." You understand how big that is to say? This has an undertone, Casino, that they're not talking about. This has something else is going on behind closed doors. When a person uses this, hold on, he says, "Earth will be forever changed." Earth. He damn near said the universe, okay? But to say Earth will be forever changed, and then said, "This will be bigger than when," let me read this in. "This will be the biggest thing to happen in music since the introduction of digital audio 40 years ago."
Yep.
That's
so what they're saying is that they finna change the game. They planning on, they know that this is finna to go somewhere that music hasn't gone before. And in order to do this, it's a lot of money behind this.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And what I'm really waiting on is this. Everybody knows that Tidal is one of the companies that pays the most to artists when it comes to streaming.
Fact.
So if they're aiming at them, they got their name in the headlines. If they're aiming at Tidal, then what are they going to do to reciprocate for the artists?
And see, that's the great question, because here's how I look at it. Regardless to now let's do this. Mainstream artists, you know, your Taylor Swifts, Rihanna's, blah blah blah. This is going to be phenomenal for them. This is going to be great for them, okay? Because this won't do nothing but help them 100%. My question is for indie artists: how will it help our indie artists? How will it help us as indie artists within the grand scheme of things? Because if you don't have, and I'll be honest with you, indie artists are waking up, okay? And I know it comes from people like me and you and what we're doing to wake them up. But indie artists are waking up and realizing just as much energy and power that they're giving companies like Spotify. And they're coming to find out it behooves me to support companies like Tidal and Napster, or Rhapsody as they call themselves, who are paying me more per stream, and I can actually make a living from, versus giving sending my fans to a platform that is not only paying me less, they're making buku money from memberships and their advertising. And I just can't afford to live this way, because as much money as I'm putting into my music, I'm not making that return back on their investment. So Amazon got to step up. They got to step up with a higher royalty rate. Not that they have the worst royalty rate in the industry, but they better be able to compare to what Tidal is streaming and paying.
Yep. They ain't got no choice. In order to knock them out, they got to come with something that's like they doing for the subscribers. They're giving them something that's tantalizing for them to say, okay, I'm going to drop this service over here and I'm going to come to y'all. Right. So if they're enticing those people to be able to drop those services, what are you doing to entice the artists, the indie artists, to be specific?
Right. Because I truly would say that if they drop the ball on that one, if they underestimate the power of the indie artists, especially right now with a quoted $1 billion influence that the indie artists have, I think that Amazon, no matter how hard they try, this will be one of them situations, much like Google, who have redesigned their music streaming platform several different times, and now just gave up and said YouTube Music. I think they'll encounter the same thing, regardless to the technology they're involved in the pricing structure that they're trying to utilize. I really think that if they do not get indies on board with this, that it's going to be just one of them situations where, yeah, they'll make a few dollars, and they're definitely going to do that, okay? But that they're not going to get what they could have gotten out of it if they had involved indies and gave a higher royalty rate.
I agree, man. It's something that I felt as if we needed to touch on for the audience, and that is something that we're going to have to watch unfold. You know what I mean? Just see how this thing is going to play out, because it's big news and it's a lot of money behind it, so it's coming fast. So.
Right, and I definitely agree with you on that. And again, just for the lack of understanding, I can definitely see again the intertwining the Amazon influencer program and you being able to make money there. I can see how it can all intertwine with Amazon Prime and Amazon videos and things like that. I can see how it all would make sense from the standpoint of, especially for the Amazon Prime members, you know what I mean? Because I am an Amazon Prime member and I do utilize Amazon pretty much for everything that I need, you know, when it comes to purchasing things and stuff of that nature. But I can see that. I can see it being that added benefit. And I can also, let me say this, I can also see where they instantly, if they sell the service and convince their Prime members, which I know they're boasting millions of Prime members and subscribers, to pay that $12 a month, they've already won. I want to say that if they can convince Prime members to purchase their service, they already won. They wouldn't need to do anything else. They already have one of the largest subscriber base in the world. And for them, again, even if they're saying that we're coming at title, right? It's still about monetization. It's still about the ending capital. You know what I mean? What we're going to make on our return for this investment. So if it comes to the numbers, I'm pretty sure the numbers will support Amazon as winning if they can add the Amazon Prime members.
I agree. And that's who they say that they are shooting at. They want to add them. So
it's going to be
it's about to be a changing of the guards. But you know what? While we was talking, switching gears a little bit, I was thinking about Spotify, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at how Spotify is moving as well. Now, with this announcement, on the heels of this announcement, Spotify announced that they just went and bought a new company called SoundBetter. Okay, SoundBetter is a way for artists, independent artists, to now be able to work with mainstream artists or work with other independent artists around the country.
Wow.
So what this is doing now, this has been bought by Spotify, specifically powered by Spotify for artists, because they want this to be something that the artists use to remain independent and make mainstream relationships, I believe. Because in the end, what it's really boiling down to is that Spotify want to be friends with everybody.
Right. And well, I think honestly, it goes back to what we talked about before. Spotify, the record label, Spotify, the one-stop shop. I had a conversation the other day while I was doing Music Millionaire members, and we had had a small group of guys that are Music Millionaire members, and we was talking about convenience. And one of the things that we were talking about was, we of course, BeatStars came up in the conversation, and it was talking about the outdated streaming platform, and they was talking about these other companies that offer better streaming platforms. And then we got into the DistroKid conversation. And again, it was always about being outdated. When I'm paying for something, I'm paying for something because at this time it's convenient for me. But what happened in that situation, that conversation, which is pertinent to what I'm getting ready to say now, with what you just shared with us, is the ability to evolve. And I was showing them the differentiation between what we're doing now as a distribution company and all the services we offer with our distribution company, and how I'm looking forward. And we've been talking about forward moving and trying to be that one-stop shop versus being a service for distribution, a service for marketing, a service for publishing, a service for, whatever it may be. However, goes back to something that we talked about in previous podcasts, which is Spotify, the record label. And when you start looking at what Spotify is doing, Spotify has interest, I'm gonna put the quote fingers up, interest in DistroKid, right? One of the largest distributors in the world, right? Spotify now is saying we've purchased SoundBetter. And so for those who don't know what SoundBetter is that go-to for musicians, producers, singers, engineers, songwriters. You know, if you need something, this is the place that you go to find the professionals to give it to you. So this lines up again with Spotify becoming that one-stop shop. They're becoming that master record label. They're getting all of the tools that they need. Think about this, you know. So we have all the hottest artists that uses our service. We got all the hottest indie artists that's using our service. We now have the distribution platform that everyone goes to distribute to our service. And now what we're doing is we're acquiring the producers, songwriters, engineers under one conglomerate. Think, bro, that is what record labels are. That's what Interscope is. That's what Aftermath is. When you go to these places, and I've seen it, I know I was a part of the machine. I am a part of the machine, but I was a part of those machines where when you go inside the studio and you're working with Dre, they have the expert platinum Grammy mix and master engineer. They have the Grammy award-winning songwriters. They have the Grammy award-winning producers, right? And then they're picking up artists and they're teaming them all up with. They're picking up the hottest artists and then teaming them up with the hottest songwriters, producers, and then they're creating these super artists like the Beyoncés because they have all of the right elements to make it work. Spotify, man, woo, boy, I tell you.
Okay, now I'm glad. I like how you wrapped all that up. So now I'm finna throw a bomb that's gonna spread all that out again. Okay, besides SoundBetter that Spotify has purchased, they also has purchased Soundtrap. And Soundtrap is a recording platform. Hear me out now. You can go on Soundtrap and record and share this information with somebody else, and they can come on and they can add the bells and the whistles to it from somewhere else. And now let's just say you recorded all this on Soundtrap, and then you send it over to SoundBetter and say, hey, we did all this up on the Spotify. What? The record label.
Wow. 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 You know, this is my first time even hearing about Soundtrap, bro. Look at this.
Listen, brother, I tell you, I'm on here, man. Listen, hey, go to my screen. I want people to understand this.
Loops and presets, pattern beat makers. Go for it, Sino.
I want people to understand this. What we are doing right here now is forward thinking when it comes to being independent. You know, like y'all may not know who I am, but my name is Casino Roulette. That's CAINOROULETTE. I've been on my back for a year, so I had no choice but to research and find out how to come back to this game 10 times stronger.
Right.
Observation is key. Research is key. What I found out was, what am I missing from these top tier streaming companies to be able to leverage myself as an independent,
right,
but look like major? Right. You understand what I'm saying? So in order for us to be able to do that, and when I say us, I'm saying myself, SG1, and all the other independent artists and producers that are watching this stream and listening to this podcast. In order for us to remain independent and look major, we got to know what these streaming services are offering and utilize them to the best of our abilities. Other than that, we're going to fall to the wayside. But we are pro-independent. Do not sell your dreams. You can control your dreams. Just get the information from the right sources, which is right. SG1 and your man right here, Casino Roulette.
That's a fact.
Get no better, man.
That's a fact. And what you guys really have to realize, and of course, this is not a upsell at all. We're just saying that if you have not, want to make sure that whatever we are putting out, make sure, again, you go to my channel on YouTube. Make sure you click the subscribe button. Go to Casino Roulette on Instagram, his YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button because you're going to find valuable information here. We're going to always be giving you this information, guys, valuable information, as you see, because you need to be ahead of the game, guys. If you're not ahead of the game, then you're behind. And it's not the person who finds out after the fact and see how it works. It's the person who realizes what's going on while it's happening and jump on the bandwagon while it's in that transition of going up before you get on it. Much like the whole Popeye's chicken situation, where everybody, once you found out, everybody wanted to put out a video on Popeyes, but it was too late once it went viral. Everybody was trying to go viral doing the Popeyes challenge. But by the time the first 100 people did it and their videos went viral, you were already behind. So make sure you guys subscribe, click on us and check it out. And before we do this with Casino, because I know you got more to say before we close out of this, just want to let you guys know as well that this particular video is going to be sponsored by AppEye. If you're not familiar with AppEye, please check out AppEye. I did a video about it before, talking about your Instagram followers and how you can make it work for you. Check out the description. I'm going to leave a link in the description for you guys to check it out. AppEye is I promise you, everyone who's used this app is telling me they're getting great reviews, guys. Please check out AppEye. Put it in your to-do list, guys. It's well worth you going and getting the software, all right? This app is definitely sponsored by AppEye. So, Sino, I had to jump that, had to get that in because we got to get the revenue coming in, bro. But that's what's up. So, is there anything else you want to talk about before we close this podcast out? Because, we got a couple more podcasts to do, man. What else is there?
Man, the only thing I want to talk about is if you or anybody you know are in the Orangeburg, South Carolina area, September the 26th, I will be live at Claflin College for the Game Prevention Annual Summit. I will be the keynote speaker. And, what we're doing right now is that reaching back to the youth. I'm like Whitney Houston. I still believe the children are the future if we teach them well and lead them the right way. So all I want to do is just be a service. Martin Luther King said that we all can't be famous, but we can be great if we give our service. So I just want to be a service to my community, a service to the kids. So if you know anybody that's at risk, any kind of at-risk youth, y'all make sure y'all hit up me, hit up my brother SG1, and refer them to us, our podcast, our whole movement, and reach out to us, whether it's via DM, Instagram, right here on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, wherever. Reach out to us, and whatever we can do to be a positive influence, positive role model in your career, in your child's life, whatever we can be, just let us know. That's how I want to be, remembered from this podcast. Just let me be a service. Fact.
I can't even add no more to that outside of what he said. It's monumental. It's so important as well, guys, that we are a service to our people and community. And you do the best that you can every chance you can. Sometimes it takes us to go through turmoil or some kind of trauma for us to realize our role on this planet. But oftentimes it doesn't. And so, we like to pride ourselves on being the ones that you guys can take our traumas and things that we've experienced and things that we've seen in our lives and everything that has happened, especially Casino, and then take that pain and that experience and listen and understand what's being said to you. And like my brother just said, man, the goal is to reach the children. The goal is to reach the oppressed. The goal is to reach the people who do not have a voice or an outlet. The goal is to help you guys. It's always been that, to help you guys. But the goal is just to help. Always remember that. So with that said, I'm not going to do too much more than what Sino already said. However, what I will say to you guys is, again, if you have not subscribed, make sure you click the subscribe button on whatever platform that you're watching or listening to this on. Make sure you go and follow Casino Roulette, please, on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and everywhere else he is. And make sure that if you have not, check out Casino on the Love and Hip Hop episode. Which one it was, brother?
It's the season finale, season 8. But I want y'all to make sure y'all stay locked and loaded for season 9. Make sure y'all stay locked and loaded for this new docu-series I'm working on called Choices, because everybody in life has to make it. Be on the lookout for everything that my brother just said. Made Men docu-series part 2. Also, the Made Woman docu-series part 1. We coming state to state, city to city, looking for the hottest independent artist and producer to either pitch your song, pitch your product, or perform your song. It's called the Pitch or Perform Entertainment Extravaganza. Y'all stay ready, stay on the lookout, because SG1 will have a commercial on this channel for all y'all. because he will be with me and I will be with him in your city soon.
We're going to be there with y'all. Y'all ain't gonna know what to do with us, man. I'm telling you, you ain't gonna know what to do. This is just the crust on the pie and cake that we be giving y'all. This ain't nothing, man. Y'all trust and believe me. Me and Casino will talk for hours with just information that be rolling off our head, man. And we're not going to do that in this podcast, all right? We're not going to do that to y'all here. However, again, if you like this particular podcast and you like what we talked about, make sure you give it a thumbs up, guys. Please like. It lets YouTube and these other platforms know that we are giving you something that's valuable. Please hit the like button, guys. We really mean that. Also, if there's some things that you want to comment, what do you think about Amazon coming at Tidal and all these other companies? Do you think it's going to work? Do you think it's not? Do you think there's some ulterior motives behind Amazon that we're not thinking about, that me and Casino might not have thought about at a particular time? Whatever it is, guys, leave your comments in whatever platform that you watch this video at. And don't forget, DM us at our IG accounts, our YouTube accounts, whatever it is. And I'm going to give you mine, which you already know, which is Music Millionaires. Casino, give them yours.
My Gmail is Stigmata, STIGMATA, the number 4, life, LIFE, at gmail.com. Stigmata for life.
And Casino, give me your Instagram account and all the other social media accounts where you're at.
Y'all can catch me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Casino Roulette. CASINOROULETTE. That's all 3. I make it real simple. You hit that name on all platforms and you'll find me, I guarantee.
That's what's up. All right, guys. So you've listened to another episode of the Unknown Music Podcast that we have not named just yet. And we appreciate you guys listening. Always remember, man, as we leave you in a better place, that music is life. We out.
Peace. There's always a reason why the big wigs do what they do. You know what I mean? And I found out the reason why Jay-Z has aligned himself with the NFL.
You found out why Jay-Z had to do what?
I found out why Jay-Z has aligned himself with the NFL.